need it now, I need it yesterday. Hello, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be doing another tier list, but for today's tier list, we are going to be ranking my most anticipated releases of 2025, including movies, TV, and some books. And again, these are my most anticipated, so there's a very strong possibility there's going to be so many things that are not on this list that perhaps you are excited for, or even that I just forgot. Okay, like, let's be honest, there's a lot of stuff coming out in 2025. Like, I was starting to put this list together and I was like, whoa, okay, we're kind of gearing up for a good year of media to consume. Anybody that knows me knows that I love to consume media. I watch as many movies and TV shows as I possibly can. And then afterwards, I'm the type of person I'll go and watch all the edits, I'll watch all the commentaries, I'll read all the reviews. Because of that, I get very excited about upcoming releases. And so I'm very excited to rank them today with you. So first, let's go through my tiers. We're gonna start from the bottom this time. So my very bottom tier is I'll still tune in. So keep in mind, these are all things I am excited for and that I am going to watch. But this tier is just going to be for the ones that perhaps at one point in time I was very excited about this, but I've maybe lost interest over time. I'm not necessarily the most excited about it personally. And then right above that, we have cautiously optimistic. So this is things that I'm hoping are going to be really good, but because of factors surrounding the projects, I'm a little bit cautious. No, it could end up going poorly, but like, I'm fingers crossed because I want it to succeed really badly. And then above that, we have I'm excited, sue me. Okay, so this is for things that I'm very excited for, but that I know for a fact a lot of people aren't excited for. And then right above that, we have give it to me, Rachel. Show it to me, please. I want them, and I want them right now. Give it to me, give it to me. Like, if they could just, you know, send me the link, like send me the arc, like I would love to have it right now so that I don't have to wait for the release date. And then the very top tier, you'll see we have the acronym IIDBTCOIGKMS. And this, of course, stands for, if I die before this comes out, I'm gonna kill myself. This is for things that I am so unbelievably excited for, that the very thought that, like, I could not live to see the day that they come out, like, gives me anxiety. So first we're gonna start with the movies, and I'm gonna try to do release order for most of the things we talk about today. Also, side note, I feel like my apartment complex is being so loud today, so if you hear background noise, I apologize, please bear with me. So the first project we're going to be talking about is Captain America and the Brave New World, which comes out February 14th. This movie is a Marvel movie, an MCU movie, and I have been a fan of the MCU pretty much since the beginning. I've basically been watching it as I've been growing up. For a lot of people, Marvel isn't necessarily in its golden era right now. And like, I would agree. I do think it has dipped a bit since the Infinity Saga. However, I do think people are being a little bit too extreme with their criticisms, because there have been a lot of great projects that have come out post Endgame, and I feel like people on the internet at least are just like,
everything has sucked since Endgame, nothing has been good.
but there's been like so many good movies and TV shows. I mean, WandaVision, come on. And I am excited for Marvel movies when they come out. So Captain America and the Brave New World is the first Captain America movie we're getting with Sam Wilson as Captain America. And I loved the Falcon and Winter Soldier show. I thought it was really well done, really beautiful. I'm really hoping it does well. I'm really hoping it does well. But I know that a lot of people aren't necessarily excited about Marvel anymore these days. So for that reason, I'm gonna put it in, I'm excited, sue me. Then after that, we have Paddington in Peru, which also comes out February. Paddington in Peru was actually supposed to come out in January in America. I think it already came out in the UK. I love Paddington. Do not write the Paddington movies off just because they're, I guess, like kid films. They're so good. Specifically Paddington 2, I do believe like is a masterpiece, like could have won Oscars. The performances are so good. The artistry, like the production design is so beautiful. The cinematography is so good. Paddington is just the most lovable little bear. I could cry thinking about him. Like, he's so precious. I'm just so excited. I'm so excited that there's going to be another one coming out. However, there are some things that give me pause about the new one coming out. First of all, how do you live up to Paddington 2? Arguably one of the greatest movies ever made. Secondly, the mother has been recast, not for any like horrible reason as far as I know. It was possibly just like scheduling issues or something, but that is a little concerning to me just because I feel like the mother is such an important character. All this to say, I'm so excited for Paddington. I think other people are too. I'm gonna put it in Give It To Me, Rachel, because I was so excited for it to come out in January, and the fact that it got pushed off a month, and I'm like, Give it to me. What are you doing? Don't push it off a month. Just give it to me now. Especially since like nothing comes out in January. So I'm like, that would have been so nice to go see that in theaters. And next we have kind of a big gap when it comes to movies on my list. So we're jumping all the way to May 2nd. We get The Thunderbolts, which is another Marvel MCU movie. And this one I'm excited for too. Okay, sue me. Like, again, this one is already getting criticisms with the trailers. Whatever happened to just having fun? Okay, just have fun at the movies. I don't like to take things super seriously. And I really, really don't like to harp on the negativity and criticisms. I'm obviously like, I understand you should be criticizing the media that you watch, but to me, like, it's just more fun to enjoy it and just focus on the positive things. And I think Thunderbolts looks freaking awesome, okay? Obviously, I'm a huge Florence Pugh stan. And then we have Sebastian Stan as Bucky in this. I think it's gonna be fun. I'm excited, sue me. I feel like all the Marvel movies are gonna end up in that category, but whatever. All right, and then June 13th, we have the How to Train Your Dragon live action adaptation. So this one, I'm a little bit nervous, okay? I loved the animated movie. Like, Toothless is so cute. He's like just the most precious dragon ever. I am just a little bit concerned because oftentimes live action adaptations don't go well. I am cautiously optimistic with How to Train Your Dragon because I think it could be really awesome. I think it could be really well done. I think the story does warrant live action. You know, I think it could look really cool. But on the other hand, it could come out bad. I really hope that they do use that opportunity to maybe expand on the story to justify doing the same story again, especially since it hasn't been that long since the animated movie came out. So it's almost like, why are we making this? You know, we have the animated movie, it's superb, it's awesome. Do we need to see it in live action, especially if it's just a carbon copy? So I hope that they add stuff to it to kind of justify making another one. All right, and then July 2nd, we get Jurassic World Rebirth. This is, I guess, technically the 4th Jurassic World film, but I think maybe they're starting, you know, trying to start a new trilogy. Guys, I love Jurassic Park movies. I love Jurassic Park so much. You know, at this point, is it maybe a little overdone? Yes. But I'm gonna eat it up every single time. I will never get tired of seeing stupid people go to an island full of dinosaurs and then they face the consequences and get eaten. I mean, that's just beautiful. I'm sorry to say, like, I really thoroughly enjoy all the Jurassic Park movies and the Jurassic World movies. I thought the first Jurassic World was like really awesome and fun. And this one has Jonathan Bailey, Fiyero from Wicked, Anthony Bridgerton. I mean, I'm gonna eat this up. Like, I hate to say it, I'm so excited. I really hope it does well. I hope it's good, but I know for a fact I'm gonna be going to see it. So I'm gonna put this in I'm excited, sue me, because despite the fact that I am very excited to see this, I again think maybe a lot of people aren't excited to see it. I think a lot of people are kind of tired of the Jurassic movies because there have been so many of them. And granted, the last one wasn't that good, but what can I say? I'm excited, so. Okay, and then not too long after, on July 11th, we have the new Superman movie. Now this one's kind of a curveball for me because I'm not necessarily like the biggest DC fan. I'm just not that invested in it. I mean, mostly due to, they've had a lot of issues building out that world, especially like the DCEU or whatever. So this is supposed to be starting the new DC universe, right? And I thought the teaser trailer looked really good. Mostly like I'm just excited for this for kind of the conversation around it. I think a lot of people seem really, really excited about it, you know, like the diehard Superman fans. And so that like diehard energy or like gets me intrigued and kind of gets me excited. But I do think I'm gonna tune in. I'm gonna put this in. I'll still tune in because I'm not personally super invested, but I do think it looks good and I think it looks intriguing. So we'll see. All right, and then July 25th, we have, yes, yet again, another Marvel movie. We have the new Fantastic Four. I really hope this does well because I love the Fantastic Four. Like, the original two movies are kind of guilty pleasures of mine. Or I guess they're not even technically the original, but the ones from like the early 2000s. The newest reboot wasn't great. All this to say, like, I'm really excited for the Fantastic Four. So far, we haven't seen much. We've just gotten, you know, some teaser images and posters and stuff, but the whole like 60s aesthetic that they have going on is so cool. I love it. And I really like the cast. I'm a huge Pedro Pascal fan. Should I put it in I'm excited Sue Me or give it to me Rachel? I think I'm gonna put it in I'm excited Sue Me with the other MCU movies because I do think, unfortunately, right now it's just kind of popular to hate on Marvel, and so I do think a lot of people are still preying on this movie's downfall. All right, and then November 26th, we have Zootopia 2. I have caution because I loved the first Zootopia. It really thoroughly surprised me. I just had no idea what I was walking into with that movie. It's honestly kind of crazy that they got away with making that movie like under Disney, I feel like, because it's just so blatantly an allegory for, you know, racism and bigotry and all of that. So it's like kind of surprising that they actually went through and made it. I don't know, it's just so good. And I love the cast. I love the world. I'm nervous for the sequel because sometimes sequels just aren't great. And especially with a story like that was so contained and so well-rounded, it's just kind of like, where do we go from here? That being said, I'm really excited for it. I really hope it is good and that it does well, but I do have that caution, so I'm gonna put it in cautiously optimistic. I also feel like everybody's Hear Me Out cake had some characters from Zootopia, and I'll just leave it at that. Oh my gosh. And November 21st, Wicked for Good comes out, and I think we all know how I feel about Wicked. The first Wicked I've seen 4 times in theaters, and it gets better every single time. I love that movie so much. I think it's flawless. I think it's so well done. So happy that they did decide to put it into 2 parts because we get so much more movie. I would have watched a freaking 6-hour Wicked. Put all the deleted scenes in. Release the extended cut. Release the director's cut. I will watch it. I am so excited for Wicked for Good. When they released that title, you really gonna do me like that? I'm obviously putting this in the very top tier. If I die before Wicked Part 2 comes out, I mean, knock on wood, I will be up in heaven begging. Please, just let me watch it. I need it now. I need it yesterday. Oh my god, I can't believe we have to wait until November for that movie. The longest intermission to ever exist. It's really all I can think about still, and it's been like months since that movie came out. I mean, y'all know, I've talked about Wicked extensively already. Go watch my Wicked video if you haven't already. I'm so excited for this movie, and I have no doubts about it. I think it's gonna be incredible, and I can't wait. And rounding out the movies, December 19th, we are getting Avatar Fire and Ash, which is the 3rd Avatar movie. And I'm excited for this, y'all. Oh, what can I say? I am excited for the Avatar movie. I never thought I would be an Avatar girl, okay? I saw the first Avatar in theaters in, what was that, 2009? And I was like, okay, I mean, this is cool. It looks cool, but I don't really care. And then that second one came out, and I was like, okay, like I love movies. I'm gonna go see Avatar 2. And then it ended up being freaking awesome. I got so invested in the characters. I mean, they just really did such a better job with this one, with fleshing out the story and the characters and making you really care about them. I loved the family dynamic, and I've seen that one quite a few times now. Like, that's how much I liked it. So I'm very excited about the 3rd one. Bring me back to Pandora. And I think similarly, a lot of people are excited for this movie. So I'm gonna put it in Give It To Me, Rachel. I'm excited about why. I don't know why it's so funny to me that I am excited about it, because it is just such a like random movie. I feel like for me to be excited about, like, I don't think any of my friends care about Avatar. Okay, now we are moving on to TV shows. So the first TV show we have is Severance Season 2, which comes out like in a few days. Honestly, by the time this video comes out, it might already be out. Comes out January 17th. And I am so unbelievably excited for this. I cannot believe it's finally here. Severance Season 1 came out like 2 or 3 years ago at this point. If you haven't watched Severance, you need to watch Severance. I know it kind of flew under the radar because it's an Apple TV show. It's so good. You're gonna want to go in blind, okay? That just all you need to know about it. The concept is that in this society, there is a company that you basically can work for, and your memories and yourself is severed. So when you're at work, you're your work self. But as soon as you leave work, you have no recollection of what you were doing in there. You are just your outside self. And so it's kind of like, oh, it's a nice work-life balance because you don't need to ever think about work when you're not at work and blah, blah, blah. But it's crazy. And I loved it so much. I love all the characters so much. And so I have been waiting for season 2 to come out for so long. And I'm so excited. I'm so freaking curious, like what's gonna happen. It left on a cliffhanger last time. I think I'm gonna put it in the top tier. If I die before Severance Season 2 comes out, what then? Oh my god, I'll never know. I'll just never know what happens. Like, and that's devastating. I have to know. All right, and then February 3rd, we have Season 2 of School Spirits. This is also another show that was, I guess, a little bit niche starting out. It grew in popularity once it went onto Netflix. Basically about like a girl that dies and her ghost is kind of trapped at the school and haunting the school, etc., etc. But there's a whole mystery involved with how did she die, you know? And it was so good. It was so compelling. That ending had me gagged. It has been quite a while since that season came out, and I do think maybe my interest has waned a little bit, I'll be honest. Also, it's not one of those shows that I maybe got the most invested in. Like, I mean, I watched some edits, but like I wasn't like obsessed, like thinking about it all the time. It was just more so one of those things where it was like, it was a good binge and I enjoyed watching it. I would honestly say I'm cautiously optimistic because I am really hoping it's really, really good, but I'm not too invested in it anymore and I'm just not sure where they're gonna go with it. Okay, next we have the final part of Cobra Kai coming out February 13th, I believe. I'm devastated that this show is ending. I love Cobra Kai so much. It's one of those shows that I genuinely think anybody, no matter your age, no matter your personality, you would like Cobra Kai. Like, it's just such a fun show. It is not afraid to just be what it is and be crazy and be funny, and the characters are so lovable and crazy, and I just love them, and I'm so sad that this show is ending. As much as I love the show, I'm like, don't give me the ending. Don't give it to me, Rachel, because I really don't want it to end. I hope it's a good ending for all the characters, specifically Johnny and Miguel. I'm a Johnny and Miguel stan till I die. I'm gonna put it in Give It To Me, Rachel, even though I really ultimately don't want you to give it to me. I'm so excited for this show and I'm excited to see how they end it, as sad as it is. Okay, next we have the 3rd season of The White Lotus coming out February 16th. And The White Lotus is one of those shows that is almost more fun to watch solely because everybody is watching it. When they come out, like, everybody's talking about it, and I find that to be really fun. And the show itself is really good too. I am bummed that no Jennifer Coolidge this season. That's a blow. That's a blow, I will say. That being said, like, I don't think about The White Lotus after it's come out and the conversation has died down. It's not one that I'm like super invested in. I feel like it's kind of hard to be super invested in it because it is kind of an anthology series, so the characters aren't continuing season to season. But yeah, so for that reason, I'm gonna put it in I'll still tune in because I do think that it's a really good show. It's really fun, but I'm not like super invested in it. Okay, next we have season 2 of The Last of Us coming out in April. I'm so excited for this show. This is another show that was so unexpected for me. I have not played the games. I knew nothing about it other than like there's zombies and Pedro Pascal is in it, and I love Pedro Pascal, as I've said. I just became obsessed, like in a way that I really did not anticipate. Like, I was watching all of the edits, all of the reaction videos. Like, I loved watching like people that had played the games and loved the games react to the show because they were like so excited, and I guess it's like done super well, like to the point where if you like put the scenes side by side from the game, it's like almost like 1-to-1. It's kind of crazy. And I also just think it's a really well done show, super well directed, and I really enjoyed it. I'm gonna put The Last of Us season 2 and give it to me, Rachel. Like, I'm really excited about season 2, even though I'm nervous for season 2 because I've heard that the story gets kind of crazy from here on out, so we'll see. Okay, now we're kind of getting into the shows that I know are coming out in 2025, but they don't really have a set release date yet. So the first is the third season of The Summer I Turned Pretty. There's not even a poster for it out yet, so I'm just using the book cover from the third book. Last year sucked not having a season of this show come out during the summer because it's just so quintessential summer. I loved the first 2 seasons of this show. I've read the books, but in my opinion, this is one of those rare cases where I think the adaptation is actually doing a better job than the books. And go Conrad! I think we're finally gonna have a good Conrad season. So yeah, I'm really excited for this one. I'm putting this in Give It To Me, Rachel. I'm so excited. I will be sat when those episodes start coming out. All right, next we have Squid Game season 3. Even though to me this kind of feels like Squid Game 2.5, I just recently finished watching the second season of Squid Game, and I have to take breaks in between watching episodes because it's so stressful. Like, I can literally feel my heart beating while I'm watching it. It's so compelling and so good, so well made. And the cliffhanger of this second season, like I said, it really felt like half a season. So I'm so glad we are getting the season 3 this year, sometime this year, because I needs to see what's gonna happen next. I would not want to be caught up in a Squid Game. Let's just say that. For those of you that haven't watched it, please go watch it. I know like some people might have the reservation since it's, you know, a different language show that might hold you back, but I promise, like, you get so sucked into it, you don't even notice it. You know, I watched the subtitled version of the show and I honestly like don't even notice that I'm like just reading words at a certain point because I'm just so locked into what's happening. Please give it a chance. Even if you watch the dub version, like, just give it a chance. Like, it's so good. So I'm so excited for season 3. Give it to me, Rachel. Give it to me now. I needs to know what happens. Next, we have the final season of You. This is a show kind of similar to The White Lotus that I kind of started watching just because everybody was talking about it. And it seemed like one of those shows that was just kind of like fun to tune into the conversation for. I'm not too invested in it, I would say. Joe is just kind of the worst. But at the same time, the show is framed around him. So like part of you is almost rooting for him at some points, and it makes you feel gross, but it's so interesting, like seeing how his mind works. The last season wasn't my favorite. I thought it was a little boring in parts, to be honest. But that being said, like, I'm gonna tune into the final season. I gotta know what happens. I gotta see if we get some justice served, maybe. I'm gonna put this in, I'll still tune in, because I will still watch it, but I'm just not like super excited and invested. Next we have Percy Jackson and the Olympians season 2. I am so unbelievably excited for this. Those of you out there that know me, and honestly, maybe even if you've been watching the channel for a while, you know, I love Percy Jackson so much. One of my favorite book series of all time. So well written and like educational, like made me into one of those like Greek mythology kids that geeks out on Greek mythology. I love the characters so much, and I've talked about this before. I know I've talked about this on this channel, but the movies were just so devastatingly bad to the point that they didn't continue after the second one. To this day, I don't understand how they messed that up so bad when the story in the books is so good. It's a conversation for another day. Go watch my YA book to movie adaptation tier list if you want some more thoughts on that movie. So when I heard that a TV show was announced, I was so unbelievably excited, but also nervous. Like, can they finally get this right? And in my opinion, they finally did. I think it was so well cast. All the kids are so good. The story is finally correct, even though they are changing some slight things or adding in some things because it's, you know, it's a TV show, so they have a little more time. I didn't even mind those changes because for once, like, they helped propel the story along in this new medium. And so the fact we're gonna get an accurate Sea of Monsters, I'm so excited I could cry. Like, I need this to be good and I need it to do well so we can get season 3 and we can keep this going. If I die before this comes out, I will kill myself. Like, I am so excited for this show. When this comes out, it will be all I talk about, similar to Wicked. I will be locked in. Next, we have season 2 of Wednesday. Really enjoyed the first season. It's really well directed and produced, obviously, since Tim Burton is involved. I think Jenna Ortega is like so talented. Everything I've seen her in, she is so good. It's not one, though, that I have had too much investment in since it came out. So I'm gonna put this in, I'll still tune in. And finally, our final TV show is the final season of Stranger Things. Stranger Things season 5. I'm so sad it's ending. I do think it is time. Like, I do think this is the perfect time to wrap up the story, and I'm glad they're like wrapping it up on their own terms, you know? But I just love all these characters so much, and I will be sad to see it go. It's been one of those shows that, like, when it comes out, I will tune in right at midnight and I will binge the whole thing. I will never forget when season 3 came out. My friend Aoife, who's been on the channel, we got together at her house and we started watching it just with the intention of, okay, we'll watch a couple episodes at midnight and then we'll go to sleep and we'll watch the rest the next day. But we started watching and we genuinely just could not stop. We were so invested. We were so excited, having too much fun, and we pulled an all-nighter. I don't know, like, I'll never forget that. And every season is like that for me. I'm so excited to watch it, and I love all the characters so much. I thought season 4 was really, really well done, and I'm nervous for season 5 because I think, you know, we might see some deaths. I'm rooting for you guys. I'm rooting for those crazy kids. If they touch Steve, I swear to God. Anyway, I think this is obviously going in the very top tier. As sad as I am to see it end, I can't wait to watch. Wait a second. How did Reputation Taylor's version get in here? What? This has not been confirmed for 2025, but man, if I don't hope it does. I really hope Reputation Taylor's version gets released in 2025. Feels like we've been waiting for this for what feels like decades. Reputation is one of my favorite Taylor Swift albums. I listen to it all the time. It's so good, and I cannot believe that there are Reputation songs just sitting out there in a vault. And so this is kind of my manifestation that Reputation Taylor's version will come out in 2025, and if it does, I'm obviously unbelievably excited. That's top tier. I mean, you don't want to see the person I'm gonna become when Reputation Taylor's version comes out. Let's just put it at that. Okay, finally, let's just go through some books that are coming out in 2025 that I am very excited for. First up, we have one that might already be out by the time this video comes out, but that is Onyx Storm, the 3rd book in the 4th Wing series. This comes out January 21st. And I'm so excited. I loved 4th Wing so much. I don't care if that's basic. Okay, yeah, everybody on Book Talk loves 4th Wing, and for good reason. Love and dragons. It's freaking awesome. I want to ride a dragon so badly because of this stupid book, okay? I know a lot of people weren't as big a fan of Iron Flame. It was a little frustrating of a read, but I still thoroughly enjoyed it. But that freaking ending. Rebecca, please. So I'm very excited for Onyx Storm, but I'm also very nervous because of how things might unfold. I'm gonna put Onyx Storm in the top tier. Sorry about it. All right, and then March 18th, we have Sunrise on the Reaping, which is another Hunger Games prequel book, this time following Haymitch and the Quarter Quell games. I'm so excited for this. I am such a big Hunger Games fan, and the fact that this is already confirmed for a movie, oh my God, I'm so excited. So this is gonna be so much fun. I can't wait. I'm gonna put it in the top tier. Oh, what can I say? I'm very excited. All right, and then on April 8th, we have the 3rd book in the Powerless trilogy, and this is Fearless. Now, I know the Powerless books, they kind of have some like controversy around them, I guess. Like people are just like kind of dogging on it for taking a lot of themes and plots from other books and kind of mishmashing them. But I've said it once and I'll say it again. I don't care. I just don't care. As long as I'm having a fun time, like I would reread the same plot just with like slightly different characters for, like a lot. Like I'm sorry, like that's just the type of person I am. Like I ultimately don't really care as long as I'm having fun. And I had so much fun with Powerless and its sequel. What can I say? I'm excited for the third one. Sue me. I'm putting this in I'm excited sue me because I do think a lot of people aren't excited for it or just like have written these books off for whatever reason. But me personally, I'm excited. I'm gonna have a freaking grand old time reading it. I'm excited. Sue me. And then shortly after, on April 22nd, we have the next Emily Henry book, Great Big Beautiful Life. I'm so excited for this. I'm such an Emily Henry fan. I have loved all of her books. I think Beach Read is ultimately my favorite. I don't know, it's hard to say. I've really thoroughly enjoyed all of her books. I think they're beautifully written, and I think she really does such a good job with writing complex characters that have flaws, and I think that that's like important. Like not everything's gonna be like sunshine and rainbows all the time, and I like that, you know, she writes about some of the harder things that people go through and how that kind of factors into relationships. I don't even need to know what it's about. As long as I know it was written by Emily Henry, I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna put this in Give It To Me Rachel, because I'm always looking forward to an Emily Henry book, and I'm looking forward to see how this one pans out and see where it ranks for me with all of her books. All right, so there we have it. That is our final tier list, all of my most anticipated releases of 2025. I'd love to know where you guys would rank some of these or what you would have added to your personal tier list for what you're excited for the upcoming year. Again, I'm sure there's probably things that I've forgotten or that I didn't realize were coming out this year, but I'm pretty happy with this list. I think it looks pretty good, and no matter where these are all ranked, I'm gonna be watching or reading all of them. I'm excited for all of them, and I think it looks like a really good year for content coming up, so that is exciting. All right, well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like, comment, subscribe. Subscribing would seriously mean the world to me. We are slowly but surely inching our way towards 800 subscribers right now, and I would love to hopefully someday hit 1,000 subscribers. So if you would please subscribe, that would seriously mean so much to me. Anyway, all this to say, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys soon. Bye! Airplane, airplane, of course, of course. Can you guys hear the leaf blower outside? I hope you can't.